All right, we have a fun topic today, and I'm going to talk about, maybe you might be interested, how to make friends as an expat here in Guanajuato and, in Mexico in general. And right now, I want to find a nice seat to talk about this, and we're going to do that here at the university steps. I want to show you what the university looks like. Oh, of course, the day that I want to sit on the university steps, the steps are covered. But you've got to roll with the punches. But look how majestic that building looks. This is the main university here in Guanajuato, and the street is extremely beautiful. So let's go ahead and walk this way and find a nice bench, maybe next to a church, or buenos dias, and talk about making friends or having some kind of a social life here in Guanajuato. Because I don't know what kind of a expat you are. Maybe you're a retiree, maybe you just want to be left alone, maybe you finally want to go somewhere where nobody knows your name, nobody knows who you are. And I can totally understand that. Maybe you're an introvert and you just like to be by yourself. I can totally understand that. I just want to maybe open up your mind a little bit when it comes to living in a town like this, because it helps to have friends and it helps to have a network of people to call upon when you need help, because you're eventually going to need help. At some point on your journey, you're going to want to call on people, and having a good network really comes in handy during those times. So let's talk about, look at this. This is where we're going to sit today, and I just want to show you what's around. This is a one of those sections where you can either go, it's like a fork in the road. Oh, what a perfect place. A fork in the road. And you have another beautiful church. Oh, look at how beautiful that is against that sky. I mean, you have to see this in person. I don't know. I'm such a geek for this stuff. I love it. You can just imagine the history here. It's such a beautiful little fork in the road. One way you can go into Plaza de la Paz, and over here on this side you go to the university. But for now, we're just gonna talk. We're gonna talk about the best way to make friends as an expat here in Guanajuato. One of the first things, first of all, I think it's very easy, but I lean more towards as an extrovert than I do as an introvert. And if you hear the sounds right now, that's the sound of Guanajuato during the morning. Is you've got delivery trucks, you've got buses, you've got taxis, you've got cars. I'm at a fork in the road, so I apologize if there's a lot of sounds from cars. But one of the first things I would do if I just moved to Guanajuato is to join all of the Guanajuato groups, Facebook groups that there are. There are quite a few of them, including ones for rentals, if you know what I mean. It's in Spanish though. I would join those groups. I would join specifically Guanajuato groups for expats, where a lot of expats are. I know a lot of people don't want to hang out with other expats, but let's be honest, we're the ones who call on each other when in times of need. We're the ones who, get referrals from each other. We're the ones who find out the latest, greatest, spots here in Guanajuato from each other. So it helps to have expat friends. You don't have to hang out with them every day, but it helps to have a network of expats. And one of the ways you can do that is to join a Facebook group filled with expats for Guanajuato or for wherever you are in Mexico. And a lot of times, frequently, people post events that they're having in these groups. Maybe someone's teaching a salsa class. Maybe someone's teaching an art class. Maybe someone's teaching a cooking class. Any types of classes that you can join, especially here in Guanajuato. Apparently I've been pronouncing Guanajuato wrong. Still, I'm trying my best. After all these years, I guess I've been pronouncing it wrong. It's Guanajuato. It's not Guanajuato, it's Guanajuato. That note was for me. So, frequently people post information about a salsa class that they're leading, or an art class, or oftentimes a musical performance, because Guanajuato is a musical town, a very art-filled town. There's always orchestras playing, there's always music, there's always art galleries, there's poetry readings here, and you can attend them and support them. That's the best way to meet other expats, not just other expats, but locals as well. The community, start meeting people, start saying hi, start being open. When you walk around town, don't walk with your head down. There's so much to see, one, and two, walk with your head up, look people in the eyes, and try, when you make eye contact, smile. Whether they're a foreigner or a local, do your best to just turn it on a little bit. Like, as my friend Memo always says before ice bath, is Angel, animo, anime, one of those, animo, which I think means come to life. So when you walk around town, set the intention to come to life and experience and observe and notice people, not just the sights and what you have around you, but notice the people around you, people walking towards you, and say hi, regardless of whether or not they say hi back. Most of the time, 99% of the time, they will say hi. The ones who don't say hi are normally the tourists. But so go to the Facebook groups, join as many as you can, and when there are events posted, join those events. Another way to make friends, and it's a way that I have not done yet, and I absolutely intend to, is to volunteer. There are a lot of organizations here where you can volunteer, whether you want to volunteer for the elderly or for children or for animals. There are lots of organizations where you can volunteer. One of the big ones for animals is Amigos de Animales, or Animales a Amigos, where a lot of my friends seem to have met each other by volunteering, helping spay the street dogs and cats and just take care of the animals. So volunteer work is a great way to meet other expats and locals. Another way is to actually take a class, whether you're taking a Spanish class or an art class, a sketching class, a cooking class, like I mentioned before. There are tons of people offering many different classes. There are temescals here, something that I'm looking forward to doing myself. I just actually learned about it, but there are a bunch of temescals here. And if you don't know what a temescal is, from my understanding, it's like a hot room, or those like it's like a structure where you go in. It's like a steam bath or a hot room, and you do ceremonies in there, and a sweat lodge. That's what it is. Can't believe I lost my vocabulary for a second. So you can join those. There's spiritual groups. There's a group here for everyone in Guanajuato, and it's just a matter of stepping outside of your doors and saying hi, extending your hand, and shaking hands. People shake hands here, and people actually do more than that. They give a kiss when they meet each other. It's usually one kiss on the cheek. The French like 4. Mexicans, 1 is good enough. So it's important to learn, the social culture here. Be open, be curious about people, be willing to learn about other people and their stories. do a lot more listening than you do talk, right? Like, so when you meet someone new, if you're doing more of the talking instead of the listening, you might want to switch it around a little bit. Learn to ask questions of people as well. And this is all stems from being curious about people. Ask people about where, their stories. What brought them to Guanajuato? What's their favorite part about Guanajuato? It's just a regular conversation, right? And joining those groups, whether you're an introvert or whether you like your silence, it's just a few hours out of your day. It goes a long way when you make an effort to meet other people. I get it when you want to be alone and when you finally have your silence, but I promise you there's going to be a day when you wish you had a circle of friends, where you wish you had a network of people to call upon when you need something. And you will need something, whether you need a translation, whether you need a ride to Costco, whether you need to pick up some medication from the pharmacy, whether you need to see a doctor. You're going to need people here in this town. You can do it alone. I want to show you this. That's one of the old school buses coming through town. You can do it alone, but it's going to be a lonely ride. It's going to be a lonely journey. And there's going to be holidays, there's going to be festivals where no one calls, where no one invites you anywhere. If you are closed, if you don't open your arms first. Here, it's all about being open first. If you want people to be open to you and to invite you and to show you around and to be, generous with you, it has to start with you. It has to begin with you. You have to open your arms first. You have to be curious first. You have to invite people first. And if you go with that mindset, anywhere you go, doesn't matter whether you're in Mexico or you're here or you're in Europe or wherever, it's just a law of the universe. If they say this, sorry, I'm overwhelmed by the ambient sounds, but this is something that I learned when I was studying to be a hypnotherapist, which I don't practice anymore. I practice it on myself. But one of the greatest things my teacher said is, if you want someone to go in trance, when you're leading them into trance, you have to go in first as the hypnotist. And so I have actually taken that and applied it to the rest of my life. If you want someone to be kind to you first, you have to show kindness first. If you want someone to, have open arms and embrace you first, you have to open your arms and embrace others first. That's the rule of the universe. So I really hope that this video was informative for you. I was just walking around this morning thinking about, what could really help people really thrive here in Guanajuato, and what are some of the things that have helped me thrive. And it's, for me, getting in and forming a community as fast as possible, meeting as many friends as fast as possible of all ages, not just people of my age, but people way older than me and people way younger than me. And you learn a lot about people when you're open and you don't have restrictions on age and restrictions on how educated they are or how well off they are. If you're just open to meet people just because you're kind and they're kind, and from a human level, the rewards are endless. The rewards are endless, and you're never going to be alone, and you're never going to feel lonely wherever you are in life, most especially here in Guanajuato. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.